All right, Felix, to be very crisp, because this is of utmost importance to us, you're going to put us in a room with Sly. We're going to be locked there for a few hours playing Tilt. Jethro and I will be in the room. We'll find Sly, interrogate him as we need to. The others will take care of your other problems.
Excellent. And I will keep your identities to a minimum.
That's perfect. You don't have to commit this all to memory right now, but Dorian is going by
Decker.
Keaton is what do we call phones in this universe?
I guess phones.
Your name is Jimmy Two Phones.
Jay?
Why do you give him a nickname?
Two phones.
You got 2 phones.
You know, Jimmy.
This is an establishment, okay? You got two
That way he
phones.
never runs out of charge.
Hey, listen.
You can call anybody with
Listen,
his
if
2
you've
phones.
only got one phone from him, you know you're not it.
You won't
You're
believe
not that
how many
guy.
phones this guy
Yeah,
has.
okay.
He's got 2 phones.
Jimmy, 2 phones though. Ooh, shit, you get on that second phone list, you know.
You could call anybody.
What is Bubba's code name?
My alias is Harper Lowe.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right.
Is it official? Is that the official?
It's on
Is that what
there.
you're going with?
Yeah, it's the official one. I want to go Harper Lowe.
Okay.
Harlo's
Harper
good.
Lowe.
All right, Felix. I need you to commit this to memory, all right? I will be Harry Callahan, young architect from Trin City. Dorian is going by Decker. It's easy. D and D. Dorian, Decker. Okay, but don't call him Dorian. Got it?
Got it.
Yep, got it.
Jethro is J, short for Giacomo. Don't call him Giacomo, though. It's short for J.
Got it.
Felix is taking notes.
Leave that.
Got it.
Okay.
He's taking notes in a little notebook.
Bubba will be Harper Lowe. Do you need me to spell that?
No, I'm writing it down. It takes me
Perfect.
a while to write.
And Keaton is Jimmy Two Phones. You don't have to say
Why?
it just like that, but it comes out that way when you say it.
Why is he 2 phones? What's the significance of the 2 phones?
If one runs out of charge, he's got another backup.
Exactly.
Is that a good enough backstory?
You tell me. You know Sly.
And then you look over at the bar, and Bubba is showing Keaton something on his phone while he was doing something else. So he's literally holding 2 phones.
Yeah, there you go.
I guess he's got it down at least. He's got it down. Okay, Jimmy 2 phones.
It's very common in the underworld. One's a burner, one's a primary. I saw it on Law and Order.
That's not canon. Come on.
Come on, we still get Law and Order on syndication.
Laws and orderlies.
That made the zeitgeist, all right. It's out there.
Dick Wolf's still doing it too.
That's it, Felix. We are not the Crows.
Great.
Great.
Let me talk to your brothers real quick, and then I'll take you to Sly.
Sure, that sounds great. They're over by the bar getting a drink. I'm going to go mingle because it's a little bit awkward to come to a party and stay with the people that you came with. It's bad manners. Jay, do the same. Socialize.
Socialize, Jay.
I'll do my best.
Felix walks to you guys at the bar. There's already like 3 empty bottles next to us.
Decker, Harper, 2 phones.
Oh,
Keaton
man.
looks around like, who the
No,
fuck?
Decker fucked off like immediately. He was on board with what Kaz just said. Don't hang out with the people you came with. He immediately went and he's, we might have seen him, his head bobbing through the crowd, talking to people.
Your brother has agreed to play the game of Tilt with me. Are you 2 familiar?
How popular of a game is this? Is it like poker? Why don't you just make a common knowledge roll? So just roll smarts at -2. It's kind of uncommon.
Could I have been sort of working the room while all this conversation was on, talking with people and see if I could get some information on what the race was going to be detailing?
Sure. Make a persuasion roll.
Like 2.
I also got a 2. I don't know a goddamn thing about it.
But you got a 5, Dorian.
Talking with the people here, I got a 5.
Great. Well, then the 2 of you don't know anything about it. And I think you find out this information, Dorian, as Felix explains it to the both of them, right? It's sort of like the old Earth game, poker, but each player gets set up with a racer who both can affect each other's games. So each player at the table is required to have a racer represent them in the games. Now, since Kaz and Jethro will be playing, 2 of you will have to represent them, and Kaz has agreed that 1 of you will race for me. And I can provide whatever vehicles you need, as my racers have not shown up. I do have some extras here on property.
Okay. Well, I guess the question for you is, who do you want driving for you?
Who is the best?
It's got to be Keaton here.
Keaton leans up against the bar. Absolutely not. And he looks over towards Bubba. I think Bubba's better than I am, but hey, that's just me.
Dorian, that's when you walk up.
Yeah, I think Dorian's waving to a couple of people as they go try to wave down another bartender. Hey, yeah, I'll catch up with you guys. It's been good talking. Eric, Vasco, yeah. Hey, guys, have you heard about this game? The race is going to be fucking nuts. So we got to find like somebody who's going to play the card game for us if we want to drive.
That's me. Jethro and Kaz will be playing in the card room along with me. We're trying to decide which one of the three of you is the best racer.
Oh, well, Bubba, I don't know, man. Hey, he drives a bigger one, but I have more fun.
Yeah, actually, me and Keaton were just agreeing that you were the best racer, so,
Well, if he says it,
Well then, Dorian, Decker, how would you like to race for me?
He runs a hand idly through his hair as he smiles.
I didn't hear. Can I bring my own ride?
Do you have one?
Oh, yeah, it's back on the chariot.
Well, then certainly. I'd love that.
Hell yeah. Okay, well, sure. Sounds great. But...
Yeah, I guess, do
Jimmy
they
didn't
have
any,
loners?
I can get you a loaner, and I want a fair game. I'm sure your brothers will have enough of a handicap in the card room.
Yeah, well, we'll see how things go.
Would you like a loaner as well, Mr. Lowe?
He kind of doesn't pick up on it right away, and then it finally clicks.
no, that won't be necessary. I think I'll be taking the ride we came up in.
Excellent. Well, in that case, if you go down those stairs there, I've been here many times, you can find your way to the track and tell them Felix sent you, and they'll know.
Well, let's go see what kind of vehicles we're working with here.
Good luck, and remember, it's just a game.
Right, just a game. We're going to win it.
You and me, you're on my, you're my racer. Decker, it's very important. Whatever pops up on your dash, follow through.
Whatever pops up on my dash, follow through. Got it.
Yes, we'll be communicating throughout the race.
Sure, no problem. Listen, by the time any of your stuff comes into play, I'm sure I'll have an easy 15 seconds on the rest of them. All right, it's no problem.
One thing, another reason I'm glad to have you on my team is in this game, personality matters as much as your skills on the track.
Oh, go on.
Well, you'll all be mic'd up to talk to the crowd at yours and the announcer's whims.
Oof, tough break, Bubba.
So, Dorian, Bubba, and Keaton, you're walking up on it's like any racetrack you've seen on TV, right? There's all the pit crews. They're lining up all the vehicles side by side by side. And the only difference is there's a bunch of farmers within shouting range that are like having full-on conversations with the pit crew, leaning over metal railings, talking to them about their engines, their tires and stuff, like having a little bit of a jab back and forth. I think you see a physical scuffle break out near some of the spectator areas where people are going to overlook the race, and it quickly gets diffused and people get pulled apart and sent back to drinking. The one difference between this and traditional pit crews is no one's in uniform, man. Everybody just looks like a dude that's having a good time in the backyard. It's the vibe of like a race where people buy $5,000 cars and race them around an old track on somebody's farm. There's a bunch of beat up cars next to each other. How did you get your truck here, Bubba?
Actually, Dorian brought it here, didn't you, buddy?
Yeah, I could have. I wheeled it around.
So that's in one of these pit stops, way bigger than anything else here. There's nothing on that scale. It barely fits underneath the overhang, the slab of stone that defines the pit crew. Next to that, we have Dorian's bike you've pulled out of your truck. Do we know what this thing looks like yet? Real snazzy.
Well, have you described what Fox bikes look like for the audience?
No.
Because I'm looking at he probably heavily modified his. He's probably stripped down the heavier fairings on it, kept it real streamlined so that we see a lot of the mechanisms that turn around. I think we probably keep just the hood on the fairings in the front, because what he's done is he's got it modified so that it's a motorcycle in design, but it's got 4 wheels. The wheels are set tight to each other with independent suspension. He's got 2 in front, 2 in back.
So it's an ATV.
Well, it is a motorcycle, but it has 4 wheels.
It's a long ATV.
It's a really long, narrow
It's just
ATV.
a thin ATV.
Yeah, it'd be a thin ATV, I suppose.
but it's different.
It's like a
right?
bus with wheels, right?
It's kind of like a bus with wheels.
It's like an ATV on monster trucks.
How much space is between the wheels?
5-6 inches of space
real
in between.
close.
Yeah, it's very close. From a distance, they look like they're just two giant wheels, very wide, and they've got some like strange tread marking down the center. But as you get closer, you can tell, oh, that's actually a gap that goes all the way through. Everything's painted up matte black, obviously.
So the Fox Bike gets its own pit area, which looks a little ridiculous because there's like no crew in there. It's just a bike in the middle of nothing.
Yeah, it is just Dorian sitting by himself. I think he's got a large, looks like guitar case on his back that he sets down, and we sort of see him open up to this empty room, and it's just him and his bike. And we don't see what he grabs for. But yeah, he's alone over there.
Oh, and then I think if Keaton and Bubba start looking around at the other vehicles, maybe looking for Keaton's vehicle, right? Just someone down there is like, hey, you Felix's racer?
One of the three.
No, we ain't.
Okay, so none of you's getting a car from Felix?
I'm getting a car from Felix, but I'm not one of his racers.
Okay, well, you'll be taking his racer, so take good care of it.
Oh, all right, yeah.
It's just that one there. And he points towards this thing, which sort of looks like a beetle. It's got 8 total wheels, 4 on each side, and then the front 2 wheels like come out almost like Christopher Nolan's Batmobile, right?
Yeah.
They're on like little pylons in front of it.
Yeah, it's got a similar suspension system to Dorian's bike.
Oh, yeah,
With
for
the
sure.
way the arms come out and hold the tires in place.
For sure. There's like retractable steel plates over windows to the front and to the side. And I think how you're going to end up getting into it is like you're getting on a Tron bike. You're like leaning forward and grabbing 2 things and driving around in it.
Oh, totally. So then this thing's not very big then. It's like the size of a sedan.
Maybe a little bit bigger. Maybe like SUV size. It's just everything a bunch of stuff in the back is either for batteries. Like they repurposed it from something. It's not supposed to be a
Right.
racer, whatever it is.
But it's a one-man vehicle. It's just big.
Yes. And then the whole thing is sort of covered in crustacean-like locking armor that's steel, right? That goes all the way back. What color do you think it is?
Well, it's been repurposed for racing. So I imagine it's like, it looks very NASCAR. It's like blue, but it has lots of like, a lot of the armor pieces are a bright red. It's got like the number 17 painted on the side of it in
Hell
white.
yeah. And then there are 2 other vehicles, but I think we just see the characters looking at them, and we get like low to the ground shots, maybe showing some tires. One of them has a really big suspension. The other one, we just get a shot of where the front windshield should be, and there's nothing there. It's just like flat green glossy paint. And then we cut back to you guys over in the pit, and we'll get better descriptions of those when we race. Anything the 3 you want to do to get ready for this race?
Can I ask her, like, do we know off the top of our head, like, is this a full contact race? Is this expected, or is it like an anything goes race? What's the situation?
Yeah, why don't we have you ask somebody? That sounds fun.
I guess I'll talk to the Felix guy, his little henchman.
Yeah, the dude who brought over.
Yeah. I see that this has some reinforced steel platings over here. What is this a full contact race or?
Yeah, you never raced tilt before?
I gotta say it's my first time.
Okay, well, yeah, you must not be a sonner. Yeah, full contact, man. I mean, depending on the cards that come up, you get little notifications on your dashboard. You don't really know. You don't need to know how the game works. Just pay attention to your notifications that come up on your windshield or whatnot, and it'll tell you everything you need to know. But yeah, I mean, there's kind of no rules out there on the track. Don't mess with other people when they're pulling off for a pit. And everybody's going to be pulling off for a pit every lap. We're going to do a lap at a time, following every round of the card game that's happening upstairs. So you'll have time for your crew to repair you and such. But yeah, you might be called on to smash other folks. You might be called to do everything you've been working on your whole life, the kind of stuff you do in your backyard when nobody's watching. That's the kind of shit you need to bring to the table. All right, you need to bring your showmanship, because in Tilt, the crowd matters as much as the game. You feel me?
Not quite. What do you mean by that? We're talking just favorite racers, or is there any tangible benefit to this?
Oh, there's tangible benefit. Is every time you do well in the track, depending on the bets placed in the card game, they're going to get cards, which might help them win the money, which I suppose you are entitled to in part as a racer. I don't know what your contract is, what you worked out with Felix, but most of the time the standard rate for a racer is about 20% of the winnings of the tilt player up top.
And I assume people get pretty hurt and banged up during this, huh?
Oh, yeah, people get hurt. People get hurt. Sometimes they set their mind to shooting, but I be careful with that, because once you uncork that bottle, ain't nobody getting the whiskey out of the gullet.
You feel me?
You said shooting? They're bringing guns into this?
Well, I wouldn't. I wouldn't if I was you. I think we got mostly clean racers on the field today, but if the crowd likes it, what are you going to do, you know?
Huh, holy shit.
Yeah, now if a hearts pops up, what that means for you is you need to show off. You need to do some cool shit, and the crowd's going to vote on who did the coolest stuff that round. You know, like the sort of, spinning. Try spinning. That's a good trick. Maybe a jump. Maybe you could jump out on top and do a little Ghost Rider situation. You know.
Okay.
There's a kid in the background that goes, "Now this is tilt racing."
So anything like that. Now, if a spades comes up, that's going to be violence. Okay, that's going to be ramming, smashing, whatever you can do to discombobulate the other racers. That's great. Clubs, won't affect much. You should keep on driving as well as you can. There are probably going to be other cards on the field, but some stuff's going to go bad on the field. So watch out when a club comes out. We're talking, sometimes it's oil slicks. Sometimes they let irons out on the field. Okay, it really just depends on the race.
Holy moly.
And then if diamonds pops up, you best be the one that's finishing first. You feel me?
Well, I do appreciate it. Thank you.
You do feel me. Hell yeah, brother. Well, good luck on the race out there. Who you representing? You brought a high stakes player?
Something of the sorts, yeah. You could say that.
You been a driver long?
Kind of a new hobby, but I've really taken to it, yeah.
Well, that's good. I see, if you don't mind me commenting on your rig, that's quite nice. I used to run freight in El Despoblado myself. It looks like something maybe he probably couldn't infer that from there.
Oh, you probably totally can. I bet you need specialty tires and shit
Yeah,
for driving
for
on ice
sure.
like that.
Yeah.
In fact,
sure,
I would
yeah.
say my thing looks mighty out of place in this because I don't think it's been geared up for combat in any way whatsoever.
Well, I used to run freight in El Despoblado down there a while back. It's hard trucking down there, so if you're able to pull that off, I imagine you ain't going to have much trouble on a race like this.
Certainly not. El Despoblado, them be good people. I like them. Been meaning to go back to it.
Yeah, they're wild ones for sure, but it's mighty nice to not have so many rules. You feel me?
I'm starting to feel you, I think, partner.
Yeah, you're feeling me.
This is the most actual, genuine conversation we've ever had on the show.
Well, thanks, partner. I'm starting to realize that I think my rig might not be the best choice for this, but I'll do as proud. Is there anything would truckers or anything have a special handshake or something like that?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. What do you guys think that looks like? What does a trucker handshake look like?
On this planet?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, on
so
any planet. What the hell's a
I
trucker
think-
handshake?
Listen,
So imagine
It matters.
Imagine you're steering with one hand and your hand's on top of the wheel, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now you each get into that pose facing each other, and then you both turn left. So your two fists, it's like a sideways fist bump,
Oh, I love it. All right, I'm in. So we do like a forward sideways fist bump that
like you're spiritually putting your fist out the window and fist bumping as you pass by.
you're both turning the wheel, but you're turning it opposite direction, so your fist bump.
we're turned into each other.
Into each other.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's nice.
cool.
That's nice. That's good.
And then I kiss them right on the lips as tradition.
Yeah, I was just thinking glory holes, so I'm
As
glad we went
tradition.
somewhere else.
Hey,
Glory hole.
hey,
Why does it always go there with you, dude?
What do you want from me? Truckers, what do they do?
listen,
Yeah, true.
I work for Sly, but hey, and listen, by the way, my name's Jackson Freak. It's a pleasure to meet you. What's your name?
You said Jackson Freak?
Yeah, but most folk just call me Awesome Jackson, which is what I would recommend you call me.
Well, awesome, Jackson. That sounds like a pleasure. Been a pleasure meeting you.
There's a lot of Jacksons, and if you don't say Awesome Jackson, they're going to be confused. They're going to ask you who I am. Just say Awesome Jackson, and they'll know who I am.
All right. Well, I'll be sure to keep an eye out for you. Name's Bubba.
No. No, your name's not Bubba.
Got
Your name's
it.
Harper
He was
Drone.
just setting you up. He was setting you up, dude.
Yeah, I was
give-
listening
I'll give you a Benny, Cameron Dave, for that. I'll give you Benny for fucking up your name so early. It was 10 minutes ago I reminded you.
Is there any mechanical difference in our cars?
Oh, yeah, baby.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you go slow as fuck.
I know.
Yeah, I was going to say, did we accidentally give ourselves 3 different classifications of car?
Oh, you totally did. Marshall, this is the thing that's going to be hard to remember. The vehicles have handling. So the bike gets a +1 to all driving rolls.
Excellent.
Cameron, it's just a vehicle. It's 0 to all rolls. And then Cameron Day, the rule book says a semi-truck with a trailer attached is -1. -2, so I think your car should just be a -1.
Sure.
Thank
that
God.
makes sense.
The benefit of this is like whenever a fucking spades comes up, you're just gonna be able to smash the shit out of anybody.
Right on.
Your car's toughness is 14.
Did you drop the trailer before the race, or are you leaving the trailer on?
Yeah, I ditched it.
It's with that someone starts walking by the edge of the pit line. There's like a yellow striped line that's kind of loosely painted on the ground on this asphalt. There's a dude on this rock, and this guy walks up and he's like waving a finger at like a bunch of the racers, and you see other people piling into their cars. We see Dorian, Keaton, and Bubba do the same, getting in their vehicles, starting up. We see Dorian pull ahead of everybody else a little bit faster on the draw with his Fox bike up to the starting line. And as he revs the engine, helmet on, we cut upstairs. Upstairs, the game of Tilt is getting all set up. This room has the vibe of like an American football owner's box. There's like nothing but glass overlooking this rocky track right above the starting line. And it's got a big, just like poker table, red felt drink holders, fancy ass wooden chairs, although they're synthetic, set up right in front of the glass. There's a bunch of TV screens set up everywhere so that you can view the race. It has like, you know how in hockey games they got like the 4 screens set above the rink? There's that above the table so that you two and the rest of the players can see the action going on the field. And then you also can get some feedback for how you're looking to the stadium. The stadium itself, the racetrack, also has screens that are set up to monitor different parts of the track, as well as the table and the cards that are on it, and of the tilt players at the table. You can see that a few players have already been sitting down. In fact, you two are the last to arrive. There are 4 other players in attendance sat down. All of them are mic'd up with little lapel mics. And as you enter the room, some people like walk up to you, don't even say anything to you, just start getting you hooked
Can
up.
we hold the horses here a little bit and maybe talk
Yeah.
before we enter the room?
Oh, yeah, you and Cass?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
When I see that, I think I would stop because we haven't talked about any sort of plan or anything yet.
Sure. Do you want to just like wave them off for a second?
Like it's a separate room, right? Like there's like the party area, and then this is like a separate area.
Yes.
It's separated from everything else that people are playing this game, right?
Yes, yeah.
So I think as we were walking towards that, I see the people getting mic'd up. I'm just gonna stop Kaz. Hey, say Kaz, what's the plan here anyway? I'm not talking about the game either, by the way.
I understand. As I see it, Decker, he catches himself. We need to get at that table, get close to Sly, and try to get as friendly with him as possible. Ideally, we're invited to some sort of after party, or we learn where he's going to be after this, all while continuing to compete in the game. And then we could use that position once we are with him at the after party to get him drunk or drug him or find some way to kidnap him in order to get the information we need out of him. But we just need to find a way to get him to a secluded location, and then that's where I'll let the rest of you take over.
The aggressive approach, huh?
Kaz shrugs. I would offer him money. I just don't think it would work.
I have my edict on me. It's always just kind of hanging over my shoulder, the handle of it. First things first, I'm not Decker. I'm Jay.
Got it. Locked in.
I think your idea could work. I was thinking, I've got this edict here. It'd be pretty easy to convince him that maybe you were looking to buy one too. Tell him that mine's a counterfeit. Just killed a guy on Noonside named Mad Dog that was making them. Maybe we could tell him that was my source, and now he's dead. So we're looking to find a new supplier.
That's even better. And you are a terrifying person when you need to be, so that story will sell quite well.
I guess either way it'll work, right?
Yeah.
Just gotta see how it pans out.
Yeah, we'll play it by ear either way. Let's read his mood. If he seems to be like a businessy sort of guy, you go in with that and I'll follow your lead. I'm here to buy an edict. He says to himself. And you killed Mad Cat.
And if he seems to be a little bit of a party animal like you take the lead.
Perfect.
All right, Harry. What do you say we get to playing?
Kaz goes for a little fist bump.
I will return the fist bump.
Well, I think the two of you were waiting in, like either the stairs walking up or, you saw the mics backed up a little bit. And as you re-enter, people walk up to you, get you mic'd up with lapel mics, and you make your way over to the table. There are quite a lot of people in here that are also just spectating the game, as well as like some blackjack tables and some poker tables set up with people just gambling around the room. but it's very clear that this is the centerpiece. There are lights set up like a professional poker game, along with like a camera crew. There's fucking 6 people running cameras on this one table.
What's the mic for?
Well, that's so you can talk to anyone on the field if you'd like. And it's also so that people that are spectating can see what's happening in the card game. You know, what you're saying is just as important as the cards you're playing.
Are we hot the entire time?
Oh, no. You have 2 buttons here. This one will transmit you to your racer, and this one will transmit you to the crowd, if you like to do that. There are certain sections where everyone's going to be hot, but there's going to be a little bing light on the, and she points to one of the monitors above the table. There's going to be a little blue light that pops up there, and as soon as that does, that means you're hot to everyone, okay? But right now, you're not hot to anybody, and you got to press these 2 buttons. Got it?
Got it.
You 2 are doing great. Do you have your own makeup people, or is that...
I'm not wearing any makeup.
That was a joke. No one here. We're not termy folks. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I take your places.
Kaz.
It's not a big deal.
Kaz definitely is already wearing makeup. It's just, okay.
We haven't established who our racers are. A good way to do that would be like transmitting something to them.
I love it.
Yeah, it's literally a 50-50 shot.
Yeah.
Bubba, do you want heads or tails?
I'm a tails kind of guy.
And who's going first?
I'll go first.
Okay. Heads.
Kaz carefully selects his seat at the table for the one that arguably has the best lighting for the cameras. He doesn't want to have his bad side on there. He sits down and kind of nervously presses the button, anxious to find out which of the crows he has. This is Sunspot. Over.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Fuck.
Yeah, fuck. Listen, we're going to have to work with each other on this one, all right? So just try not to piss me off. I got to focus down here.
Try not to piss you off? You're driving. Whatever. Okay, fine. Just refer to me as
Kaz.
Sunspot and it'll be fine.
Hey, Sunspot.
Yeah.
You're going to do a great job.
Thank you. Keaton?
Yeah. Now don't fuck me down here.
Cut 2.
Just from hearing that, Jethro is sitting next to Kaz.
Yeah.
Okay.
He hasn't pushed his transmitter button yet, but just from that conversation, he already knows who he's talking to. So a smile cracks across his face, and then he just says, Harper Lowe, this is Jay, over.
Oh, fuck yeah. Jay.
Looks like you're my racer.
Oh, this will be perfect. We got this one in the bag.
I don't know what I'm doing up here, but I'll do my best.
Yeah, you'll do fine. Don't let me distract you down here. You probably got more than your arms full up there. Do you ever play this goddamn game?
Nah, they don't have this game as far out as I was.
Yeah, I can't say I have either. Well, you do your best and I'll do mine. Over and out, Jay.
As the 2 of you sit down, we get a shot of the other 4 people sitting at this table. We see Sly, but here's a little preview of Sly, okay? Here's a little preview of Sly. You guys are going to like this.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Right?
He looks exactly like Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
He's Snoop Dogg
like
if he was a pimp in 1880.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Snoop Dogg with bullet
my
suspenders.
God.
Dude, if Snoop Dogg was jacked and was a pimp in 1882,
Dude, I am super into this character design. This is sweet as
Yeah,
shit.
dude.
I would play this
this is
character.
super cool.
He looks like Snoop Dogg, but he's got a massive fucking winter coat with big fluffy interiors,
I
big
love it.
fluffy collars, belts all over it, but he's not wearing that jacket. It's slumped over his shoulders. He's caping it. He's got a button up, real crisp. And he's buff too. It's Snoop Dogg buff, okay? Crisp, white button up with a green tie, a real tall collar. He's got black round spectacles on, and then he's got a mustache that like curls up at the sides in little curls. And he's got a pipe in his mouth that has like this green, kind of like green stain on it, along with a green tie, a little gold necktie. And then he's wearing suspenders that are like bandoliers. There's little bullets running along up and down all of them, holding up his hunter green pants with some classy brown loafers on bottom. That's him. That's Sly.
Man, I want to play this character. I don't want to play Bubba no more.
It's like Snoop Dogg took Busta Rhymes' workout routine, man.
Yeah, legit.
I'm dipping my character. See ya.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Look, Dorian's going to become his best friend, so it'll be an easy transition for you to just let Bubba go back to Josie and you become Sly.
Yes.
And it'll be great.
Yes. A million times yes. Caleb, I've already called it. If Bubba dies, I get this character. Okay?
Oh, yeah, you got it, dude.
Oh, sweet. Thank you.
Next to them is someone named Destiny. Pull up a photo of them, maybe.
This guy looks like Colonel Sanders if he stopped making chicken and started pimping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I could see that.
Okay, yeah, sure. He's got braided, stark white hair, bushy white beard. He's wearing a full white suit with a black shirt underneath and a little orange tie. He's got tattoos on the skin that's visible everywhere, like the backs of his hands. He's wearing a gold wedding ring, and then all the buttons are black on this white suit. He looks very angry, and he sat at that table. Next to him is a dude named Wallace. He's like laughing and giggling to himself as you guys come to the table. He's like leaning into Destiny, trying to make a joke to him. He's a bald man with like these glasses, but how do I describe this guy?
He kind of looks like a pimp.
I would say Mr. Wallace looks kind of like a bitch.
Yeah. Wallace looks a little bit lankier than everybody else. He's like giggling to himself, joking to other people as you guys walk up. He's probably about 5'8", considerably shorter than the other 3 people at the table so far. He's wearing like a big blue blazer over a like tan vest, but it's like one of those ones that buttons way over to the side, like a military uniform or something. He's got a white ascot, white pants, and like the other players at this table, is carrying a gun on his hip on a white belt. And did I describe Sly's gun, or did I forget?
I don't think so.
I think you
I
forgot.
didn't hear anything about a gun.
I don't remember anybody describing guns.
Well, since I forgot, Sly has a futuristic Winchester with a synthetic wood stock that looks way too yellow, and then it's got a bunch of filigreed silver on its whole like middle register area, a bright silver Winchester type of lever. And then on the front, it's got a grip like something you'd see on a modern hunting rifle, almost like a shotgun's pump action thing. And then heading from the silver forward is a stark black barrel, no holographic sights, just a silver back sight and a thick steel sight on the front. Attached to it is a sling that's black leather with a few little silver bits on it. Everybody sits down in traditional poker manner, like no one really says hi as you sit down. It's just everybody kind of stuck up in their own groups. Who's sitting next to Felix of the two of you? I assume you sit together.
Felix is on the end. Kaz sits next to him. Jethro next to Kaz. Who do you want to be next to you, Jethro? Wallace? Sly?
Sly, probably.
Yeah, Sly's better.
Ooh, sure, yeah.
Great.
Then Destiny's mean mugging next to him with fucking Chuckles over there on the other end.
Yeah, Wallace on the far end. That's dope.
As you sit down, Felix finishes whatever joke Wallace was trying to tell him, kind of gives him a light chuckle, and turns to Kaz. I take it you haven't played this before. Have you played poker? 5-card stud, Texas Hold'em, you know, the old Earth games.
I ran a weekly game back at the fraternity house, Felix. I am more than familiar with this game, and my associate here, I believe, is also very familiar with that concept. He has something of a gambling addiction. He gives Jethro a look like, I'm building your character, your backstory.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Well, you'll have no problem fitting in here. I won't describe the rules of poker to you, but just try to make the best hand you get. You'll get more cards the better your racer does, and the main way you're going to gain cards is through either your racers winning the lap or placing bets and having your racers win the challenge on the board. It has a flop like Texas Hold'em, with each card describing something the racers have to accomplish on the track, and if you bet the most on a card, you're sort of betting that your racer's going to do that. And of course, other people are free to call or to bid against you.
Kaz looks extremely confused. He looks over at Jay next to him. Any questions?
Makes sense to me.
Perfect. Big hands, big bets, big wins, big dicks. Am I right, guys? And he looks at the table.
I guess Jethro will give you a little sympathy smirk.
Kaz is going to play Harry Callahan. Harry Callahan is a man with a lot of money. Harry Callahan's the type of guy that
Get his whole character.
Nobody wants, huh?
Harry Callahan's the kind of guy that goes out on a weekend date with 4 dates in a row. you know?
Dang.
Yeah, big date energy.
Jay has a gambling addiction, apparently.
Wallace from across the table like laughs at your sentiment. No one else does, and then he straightens like basically the bar on his face, much like Dorian's Geordie headset. You know, it's similar. He straightens those and says,
Well, it's always good to have new blood on this far up the Sun River. I take it you're not from around here.
No, we were invited here by Felix, and we came up looking for just a little bit of excitement. Life is so boring when all it is an endless string of dates with supermodels and vacations.
Oh, well, quite the life you lead, sir, but we'll see how your card playing is.
and over to your left, sitting near Jethro, Sly has leaned back fully in his chair, one shoulder fully reclined, like really leaned back. One hand is loosely on the table, playing with two stacks of chips that have been placed in front of him, shuffling them together as he says, "Any friend of Felix is a friend of mine. Welcome to my table, friends."
Is his weapon on display?
Yeah, it's just like leaning against the side of the table. "Are you good for $1 million? That's the buy-in at my table.
Of course.
Get 'em some chips, boys."
Is this your place? This is beautiful.
Grandpappy's place. I'm just a resident. Well, I guess these days it's mine, but you know how those things go. You look like a Nuna, if you don't mind me saying.
You're not wrong.
A lot of chips for a Nuna.
I've got some friends in the right places. There are ways to make money on the noon side too, friend.
I'm sure there are. Dukes have a lot of money held up. Might as well do a little liberating, huh?
That's right.
Well, $1 million will get you in. I'll talk to Felix about getting your races set up with pit crews, so that won't be a problem neither. Let's get this shindig started. Thank you for listening to Sounds Like Crow's Terminus. If you like the show, the best thing you can do is leave a rating or review for us on iTunes or wherever else you found this podcast. If you'd like to support us monetarily, you can go to patreon.com/Sounds Like Crows and join illustrious patrons such as Jeremy Dunlap, Ezra Hardman, Mark Fayat, Kirby, Ariel Weiss, and Greg Gray. Thank you all so much. Along with, this week, Randy McCourt, Ataziel, Wolfgang, Chase, and Kate. Thank you all, again, so much for helping us do the show. I'm Caleb Sunstead, and you can find me on Twitter at MarshallCaleb, or you can email me at soundslikecrows@gmail.com. Casted this week is Isaac Sunstead playing Kaz Crow, who you can find on Twitter at Abel the Crow. Dorian Crow, who was played by Marshall Sims, who is on Twitter at Mr. Malicious1. Jethro Crow was played by Alex Horrell at Alex Horrell. Cameron Reed played Keaton Crow, and you can find him on Twitter at CJReed211. Bubba Crow was played by Cameron Day, who you can find at our Discord server if you join our Patreon at the lowest tier. Shout out to Doug Nesbitt for helping with the idea of Tilt and everything surrounding that. You can find them on their podcast, RPG for You and Me, at rpgforyouandme.com. Thanks, Doug. Thanks to Cameron Reed for dealing with a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. I would not still be doing this show without him. Thank you to Alexandria Majan, our executive producer, also for behind-the-scenes shenanigans. And finally, apologies for releasing this on a Tuesday and not a Monday. I feel bad about the release schedule recently. I'm aware it's a problem. trying to fix it. I'm changing some stuff up in my life to hopefully be more consistent on Mondays. Thank you all so much. I forgot about music. I did some music, and then the theme and everything else is provided by William Ecker, who you can find at bandcamp.com/music-wrecker, where you can buy the Terminus theme at a set your own price thing. Savage Worlds is owned by the Pinnacle Entertainment Group, who you can find at peginc.com. I think that's actually it. See you next Monday.